Hello there folks, me RJB from RJBTV, and in the previous video we did Burgersasu against Freyja. The very first game between the two was 15 minutes long and Freyja came out on top. Which means that now we're going to dive into game number 2, which I hope is going to be much shorter than the first one, because the first one, the very long games over 40 minutes up to 50 minutes are tough to get through in a single sitting. They're long. They take a long time to cast. They take a long time to watch. It's just a very long process altogether. You do get to see a lot of very cool things though. In the very long games, you do get to see a lot of very cool things happening, which you usually don't see in the shorter games. Because in those long 50-minute games, they get to try all sorts of things, different things, that they're forced to try to look for an opening and an advantage over their opponent to try and wrestle themselves into the lead towards a victory. It's truly blood, sweat, tears, and crampy hands, because when you play for 50 minutes at over 250 APM, you can bet that your hands are gonna be dead afterwards. Super dead. Dead and gone, burned to a crisp. So what's gonna happen here? Burgersasu, yellow Terran, Freyja on the pink Protoss, magenta rising. He's on the pink Protoss. What does he have in store for us today? His Terran looked very strong. Will his Protoss look equally strong or stronger? Or perhaps will it get smashed into the ground by Burgersasu, who is by now an expert Terran player in 1 vs 1. This is what he plays the most. He barely plays Protoss in 1v1. He even named his channel Took a Random, which I assume means something along the lines of I picked random. Took a Random. That's his channel name. So I hope it means something like that. And if it doesn't, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. But first, supply dip in the front. He's scouting the wrong locations. Freyja's right over here. Freyja went for triple gateway after a Nexus, which historically speaking, I gotta mention this, which historically speaking is really not that awesome against triple barracks, but guess what? It's a double barracks there from Burgersasu. He's gonna go for a fast command center. He might pay the price for going fast command center against triple gateway without a forge. It's all in aggression. Now, if Burgersasu had found Freyja on his very first scouting attempt, these Marines out of the map and the SCVs would be hurting Freyja right about now. But the fact that he finds them on the very final, the very last spot of the map, almost the last spot of the map, it means that Freyja has progressed enough to get away with murder, because he's going to have enough zealots out on the map to protect himself from Burgersasu's aggression attempts quite easily. So the window has closed for Burgersasu. He's getting a gas, he's getting an academy, but he won't, I hope I'm not going to be wrong here, he won't really be able to break through Freyja's zealot lines with double barrack production. It's, I believe, not going to happen. So he built a wall in the front because he knows it is probably not going to happen. He starts the construction of a wall to keep these illegal zealots out. I'm not going to say the alien word, but they definitely are not here on this map legally. I can tell you that. They're not here legally. They're invading from space, outer space, to kill the Marines, the zealots, the humans, the Terrans. Comes in, goes for the attack, gets us around. Burgersasu got slipping, gets way more kills with... Oh, is that going to do it? Okay, he wins the fight quite easily. Loses a lot of Marines there, though. And guess what? Another... Loses weight. Ooh, that one gets away barely. Not sure if that was worth it for Freyja or whether that was not worth it for Burgersasu. Not too sure. The medics are on the way there, though. Stim is on the way as well. Actually, the medics are not even in production yet. He's got Stim there on the way there, though. Got a very fast Tempest Archive there, and a Citadel of Dune from Freyja is going to go for a fast Dark Templars. He's pushing Burgersasu back into his base because Burgersasu cannot afford to lose any more Marines on the double Marine production. He needs the medics. Okay, this is going very wrong here for Burgersasu. Burgersasu getting caught in his choke just earlier really did a number on him, and at this point it's just going to go south. It's just going to go terrible from this point onwards for Burgersasu. Freyja just got the jump on him. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you just get a small little advantage by being just a little bit faster when your opponent is not expecting it. Burgersasu was not expecting Freyja to attack the front door, and Burgersasu just happened to not be looking at that exact moment and loses all of his Marines. Every single one of them went down. There's no Marines left alive. Literally no Marines left. This is it. This is a GG. Freyja takes home game number 2 super easily without breaking a sweat. Without even breaking a sweat. Burgersasu just made a huge mistake, and sometimes it's just over this fast. Sometimes it's just over this fast. One mistake and victory slips away. One mistake and victory slips out of your grasp. And nothing you can do to save your own hide. Nothing you can do to save your own life. Nothing you can do to make a comeback and return back into the game. Because once you lose too many Marines in the early game, all the opponent has to do is just produce more Zealots and just keep sending an attack moving and doing a little bit of micro-macro control here and there, and then maybe transition into the Dark Templars that he was building, because Dark Templars were on the way. So even if Burgersasu did survive the Zealot attacks, the Dark Templars would have destroyed him because he had no turrets anywhere to be seen. He would have gotten destroyed. Sometimes this just happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens. That's a part of StarCraft 2. Bad luck happens. Now we got Terran against Protoss. We got Freyja on the Terran and Burgersasu back on the Protoss. I think these spawn locations are the same as from game number 1. I think it was a corner here on the bottom right and the middle there on the bottom left. So we have a repeat from game number 1 here in game number 3. Protoss against Terran, Freyja against Burgersasu. Is this going to be another long game, or is maybe Burgersasu going to find the opportunity to maybe cut this game a little bit shorter by winning instead of losing? Because in the last game he made the game very short by losing very quickly. Not quite a record, but oh boy, was that a quick one. So Freyja goes for 8 barracks and 8 supply depot. Not a lot of players do this because it is a little bit difficult to do with your income, but he managed to find a way to go for an 8-10 barracks and supply depot. It's gonna go for another barracks right about now at 10-10. All as planned. This SUV is going to go back to the minerals, or he's going to scout with this one, not too sure. Goes back to the minerals. Back to the minerals, and the next SUV is going to build barrack number 3. Or he's going to not do that, and he's going to build a... He's going to scout. He's going to scout the map. Sometimes you just don't know what they're going to do in the early game. Like everyone, not everyone, but most players have slight differences with how they play their early game. Like they all go to the same destination. They sometimes just get there a bit differently, so it can be difficult to you know, predict exactly what they're doing, even though it all looks the same. So double gateway there from Burgersasu, pot on the front, and next is going to be at the top after double zealot, which is on the way. Double zealot next is there from Burgersasu, and then he's going to go for a gas cybercore forge, once he can afford it. First, the 2 zealots coming out onto the map to go for a lot of scouting, or perhaps in this case, because scouting is finished, he's going to go for the attack and try to hit Freyja on his double barracks production. Commands that are on the way, and because Burgersasu didn't go for triple gateway, he probably won't be able to do similar amounts of damage to Freyja as Freyja did to Burgersasu in the last game. Double gateway and not as strong as triple gateway. Submarines are going to the front to keep enemy units out of the base. Thus expose them to zealots. If the zealots here get the jump on the Marines here, then yes, he can progress forward quite easily. But the amount of Marines keeps growing now in 6 against 2, and he responds immediately. That is the mistake Burgersasu made. He did not respond immediately. He got surrounded, and when zealots surround your Marines are as good as dead. Nothing you can do about it. No micro that can save you. When the zealots are on top of your Marines, surrounding them, you're done. You're cooked. It's over. No escaping from the Reaper. So double gas there in the back. Double Nexus, double Gateway, Cyber Core, and Forge there at the top. Gonna warp a cannon in at some point. Marines are on the move. This is actually quite interesting. He's being very proactive with the Marines, putting them in the middle of the map. He's got barrack number 3 there on the way in Academy as well. So Commencer finishes up there in the back. Double gas. Double gas. Factory being built. Citadel of Doom there for Burgersasu. No robotics yet. No robotics. Is he going to build it right now, or is he going to get something else? cannon. He's gonna hit cannon number 2 very soon. They're in the front. Cannon number 2, so 1, 2. Has a lot of gas saved up. Is he gonna go for a Templar's Archive? Got a small little fight happening in the front there, but Freyja has a good position. Response in time. Zealots have to stay away for now. We got Dark Templar's Archive there on the way. It's definitely gonna be Dark Templars. We have a delayed robotics facility. Usually you get the robotics before the Citadel, before the Templar's Archive. But when you get Citadel before the robotics, you can pretty much always gamble on it. It's gonna be Dark Templars. He's adding on a couple more gateways to get a couple more Zealots. He's maybe gonna get Zealots speed, although I don't see it at the moment. We have an engineering baiter on the way from Freyja and a scan as well, so Dark Templars shouldn't really do too much. And that might imply that Burgersasu might also go for Templar Storm to go straight for High Templars. Nope, it's not going to be High Templars, it is Dark Templars. All the way, baby. All the way. Dark Templars are his option, his weapon, his choice of strategy. We're going to see a support base soon. He's waiting for this to finish to get the support baiter at the top side. It's a little bit delayed. He's got the money for it, got the gas for it. No support, but they're on the way just yet. Going for 4 Dark Templars in total. Shoal on the way in the front, and there's support bait. Got Stim in the front there from Freyja, but we got the Dark Templars coming to the front there to try and save the day. But he's got a scan. He has a scan, but turns around. The Marines actually meet the Zealots in the front, bought enough time to stall the Marines before the cannons took any damage. So the cannons basically survived without taking damage. Also, he just used his scan. Turret is on the way. He's going for the Marines instead of going for the turret there in the front. So he can't even get in. Like, this is a perfect wall. Doesn't look perfect, but this is a perfect wall. So he doesn't get in. Turret is finished up. Killed a bunch of Marines. And now Zealots are on the way with Dark Templars ready to get put into the shuttle to fly into the base. Also, he's getting Templar Storm now and shuttle speed. Getting another shuttle there. He's getting 2 more gateways for a total of 6. He's going for really hard gateway production. He's only on a single robo, but robo number 2 is on the way. But first, let's see if the Dark Templars can do any damage inside of Freyja's base. Can they delay him? Unloads next to a turret. Is there a turret in the back? Yes, we have a turret in the back. Do we have scan? We have scan. So he should be safe. Should be safe. He splits up the Dark Templars to make sure that only a single scan can kill just a single Dark Templar. So one goes down, the other stays alive. This one's going to be annoying here on the bottom left of the base. You can either go for the turret, but if he goes for the turret, the Marines can stim in and kill the Dark Templar before it kills the turret. So he has to stay within the 2 detection zones. Scan energy almost there. He's waiting. 49, 50. He's going to rush in and kill this Dark Templar right about now. There he goes. Down Dark Templar. So the Dark Templars, in total, they killed like 10 Marines and 1 SCV. So I would say not quite successful because it does delay the shuttle drop. And realistically, you don't want to delay your shuttle drop against a player of Freyja's level, because as we saw in game number 1, he defended himself against shuttle drops very well. This shuttle drop there comes in right before the turret's finished, starts loading there, so turn around a little bit, has to fly away. As High Templars inside, he's going to go for the turrets first. Storms and Marines. Is there High Templar number 2? High Templar number 2 unloads, storms and the Marines, and the Marines do go down, but there's still a lot of Marines left alive to kill the remaining forces. So yeah, this drop does not really do a lot, but he keeps his top corner open because the turrets are dead or unfinished. A couple Marines went down, so there's less forces to defend against shuttle drops. I would say overall, Burgersasu made the best of that drop. Not an amazing drop, but he made the best of it. He achieved at least something. Another shuttle there going over the left side. Finds a hole, but doesn't like the hole. It is not big enough. Like, there's 2 turrets, it's difficult to get in there. So he goes over the top side where we have Marines, a bigger hole, like 2 quite big holes, 3 big holes, but we got turrets here as well. So he knows that it's going to be difficult. He's going to try to force it. Flies in over the corner. Oh, he goes in all the way. High Templars are loading on the top side. They're pretty far away from the SCVs. SCV's not running the safety. Double Storm coming in. 1 and 2. SCV's splitting up, but he gets a couple kills there on 20 kills. There's more than just a couple. That is a lot of kills. That is what Burgersasu needed. He really needed that one. He needed a moral victory. Something to put him back into a good mindset. because he's down 2 games at the moment, and that does put some stress on your mind. It does hurt your pride a little bit when you lose 2 in a row, specifically when you lose a very long game. It's painful, it hurts, because you fought for so long, for 50 minutes, only to come out as the loser. That hurts, that hurts. Took a lot of time and effort. Sweat, blood, tears, cramps, carpal tunnel syndrome, whatever it is, you name it, it happened. So he goes over the top side, finds a good hole. The hole is wide, so goes in all the way. Reavers unloading. High Templars on the scene as 4 High Templars, 2 Reavers. Reaver does stay alive. More Marines coming in there to the top corner. Picks it up, goes down to the turret. Small little mistake, they should not have picked it up. So this one's going to go down as well. Templars are killing everything. I'd say, all in all, that was a great drop, because he didn't kill any SCVs, but he killed a lot of Marines and tanks and the turrets, and so there's more Zealots ready to fight, and only a few Marines left alive in the bottom here to take this down. So yeah, this is great. This is great for Burgersasu, because another drop already picked up, gonna fly in over the top side, while the Zealots are still killing his stuff in his base. Supply is down by 50. That's terrible. Burgersasu is finally getting his strategy off the ground as intended. Finally making Freyja bleed. Yes, gods do bleed. This is the evidence. Comes in over the top side. Reaver and High Templar unloading. Storms, misses the Storms. Scarab there on the chase. Scarab explodes on 2 Marines. Picks up the Reaver, sets it to a safe zone. Marines in the bunker. There's literally nothing in the back to defend. Kills 1. Okay, that wasn't the best switch, not the best shot. Picks it up, flies close to the bottom side, shoots with the Reaver. Reaver shoots just on time as if he had to unstack and run away, and they do survive. Lucky break, but Freyja lost like 20 seconds of mining time. Did recover some of his supply back to 80, but still a 50 difference. The drop comes in with 3 shuttles. Reaver unloads. Reaver shoots its load, kills the Marines, and another High Temple there on the scene at the bottom side. Kills all of the SCVs. Do go down. How many kills did he get? 37, and more of them were dying. Like these 8 were gonna die. So yeah, that's about 45 kills there on the High Templar. Beautifully done. Very strong macro. Very strong performance. Burgersasu achieves redemption. Redemption has been unlocked, which means we're now going to go into game number 4. Let me just check how long game number 4 really is. Because if it's too long, then we're going to move it to the next video. And if it's not too long, we're going to do it right here, right now. Freyja against Burgersasu, 2 legends of the modern day of StarCraft, facing off. Going into game number 4. Score is 2 wins for Freyja, 1 win for Burgersasu. And this game is, I'm not going to spoil it, but it shouldn't be too long. Nothing like the 50 minutes on game number 1, because that was pushing the limit. Burgersasu and Freyja on the map yet again, right next to each other. Now that must feel pretty bad for Burgersasu. You do not want to be right next to a Terran where there's a hill that tanks can sit on. Now that's scary. So Burgersasu is going to have to put all of his efforts together and put on an amazing display here against Freyja, but he's going for a mid-gate. Ooh, I've got a bad feeling about this one. I don't often see mid-gate Protoss work against corner spawns. It doesn't work too often. It really does not work too often. I've seen some players do it, but at this level of play, usually the Terran players are so good that mid-gate build orders just do not work. But maybe Burgersasu can do it. I want to be a believer. I want to believe that he can do it. But usually the odds at this level are stacked against the Protoss. Yet the Protoss players still do it, because they're hoping that maybe the Terran player is on a middle spawn location. You can see it with his scouting pattern. Scouts the middle spawn at the bottom, middle spawn on the right, middle spawn at the top. His SCV might actually give away Burgersasu's Freyja's spawn location. Scouts the middle from the top corner. Did Burgersasu see it? No, he did not see it. Now he sees the SCV there though, and he probably knows that now Freyja has to be somewhere on the top side of the map. Because he pulls his SSV, his probe, is not an SSV, his probe to the top side and scouts both of the top spawns. And it's a Marine, which means it's a barrack at 8 supply there from Freyja. Almost kills the Marine. That was on purpose. He wanted to reduce the health to make it easier to kill when the Zealot comes out. Like 15 HP, takes one hit from a Zealot and is dead. So even though the probe died, that was great for Burgersasu. But a bunker exists, and bunkers protect Marines from Zealot damage. Brings in another probe, tries to find the Marine, sees triple barracks, saw the SCVs. No additional information gained there though. Kills the probe with the SCV there though. That's a beautiful kill. That's a nice one. We have an SCV there on the bottom for Freyja. We got triple pylon there in the base for Burgersasu. Got a forge. I mean, it's a assimilator. No forge for Burgersasu. No forge. Getting gas. He's not going to go for a cannon push. He's going to go for advanced technology. So the micro here on display from Freyja is pretty much as good as it can be. Loses no Marines against 3 Zealots. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And that means that Burgersasu is going to have to keep on producing Zealots from the middle. And at some point, Freyja will have a stronger Marine fighting force, and Burgersasu has an offensive force with his Zealots. And that might mean that Freyja can at some point overpower Burgersasu, but he slows down the Academy. But it will cost him the Zealots, but he does get a couple Marine kills there. Pretty good play there from Burgersasu. Goes on the SCVs in the backside as well. So 3 groups of Zealots at 3 separate locations in Freyja's base. But 4 Zealots do go down. A couple other ones have to escape, which means the Marines can now try to push back. It's 3 Zealots against like 9 Marines. We got 2 more on the way there on the middle. We have a Cyber Core there finished up. We have range for Dragoons on the way. Citadel of Aduna on the way. And more Zealots in production. So he's probably going to go for a couple of Dragoons as soon as he can afford them, and then maybe go for Zealot speed or for Dark Templars. There's a second gas there being built at home for Burgersasu. We cannot look at the moment because we got action happening right here in Freyja's base. And as you can see on triple barrack production, you just outproduce a triple gateway pretty rapidly because slow Zealots are difficult to micro. Marines with stim, easy to micro. Marines with medics, even easier to control. The Marines just overpower the Zealots with their ranged ability. It's easier to micro, easier to prevent damage against the Zealots. So he goes into the middle, starts the attack. I know Burgersasu is in trouble. Burgersasu is in trouble, but the Zealots there trying to buy time. He has to buy as much time as he can. A lot of micro happening there. Gets a lot of kills with the Zealots, more than I thought he would. And he actually might win the fight of Zealot against Marine. Okay, no, he does not win the fight. I was too optimistic. Does not win the fight, but he buys a lot of time. And another wave of Zealot spawns, which means he can return the fight, resume the fight, and start killing more Marines yet again. We do have Stim almost finished up, and medics are on the scene, but the medics are a little bit too late. Firebat are in the back, trying to help out. It's 3 Firebats, and the Firebats turn the tide. Fight goes towards Freyja for sure. Really nothing you can do against the Firebats and the medics once that comes in addition to the Stim. So he goes for the pylon. He does not want the Dark Templars to finish. He doesn't know Dark Templars are on the way, but he's just assuming, I gotta kill the pylon to depower the 3 gateways, which is better than killing the gateways. And now I can just ignore the gateways and go straight for the base, where Cannon has finished up. You got a robotics. Burgersasu is doing some funky stuff. Not sure I agree with what he's doing, because he could be dying right at this moment in time. If these Firebats get on top of the probes, he could die right here, right now. He could die. He runs in. Probes running to safety. Firebats getting on top of the cannons. The Marines went down pretty fast. And you know, he's not going to kill, or he might kill the cannon. He's killing the cannon. He kills the cannon. Okay, another cannon warps in. The medics kind of run to the wrong location. The cannon does go down. This is terrible for Burgersasu. Another cannon finishes up. Probes running to safety, running to the bottom side. He just focus the cannon. The medics are out of... Okay, the cannon goes down as well. But the Dark Templars are almost finished up. Did Burgersasu buy himself just enough time for the Dark Templars to finish? We have engineering bay there for Freyja. We have turrets for Freyja as well. A lot of Marines went down. He's on 19 Marines against... I mean, 19 probes. 19 probes against 30 SCVs. That's terrible. That's terrible for Burgersasu, but he's got Dark Templars. And we have no scans for Freyja. We do have turrets though, but no scans. He's building the command center right now. He's got turrets protecting pretty much every single part of his base is protected at the moment. So the Minax is still there in the front. He's got a turret there inside of Burgersasu's base. He built a new pylon on the middle. There's a turret on the middle as well. He knew that our temples were coming. He's looking for a hole, looking for a way in. Cannot find the way in though. He might try this top corner. He finds the top corner, but the turret is warping or being built there right next to him. But he finds the one and only opening in Freyja's base right around the supply depots. Goes to the backside, but gets shot on by Marines in the bunker. Okay, one Dark Templar goes down. Not the best play there by Burgersasu, but he did find the one opening. He found the one opening. And Freyja is being held captive in his base because he got no scans and has to kind of just sit around and let Burgersasu recover. So he gets a couple kills. We have still no cannons here back at home for Burgersasu. Burgersasu is trying to keep this top corner open for a high Templar drop. He's got Zealot speed on the way and a couple Zealots in production. Killed the turret there on the middle, killed the turret here back at home. He might try to break through the front door while the Dark Templar is killing stuff on the top corner. That might be what he's trying to do. He's trying to buy time with the Dark Templar, which he did. He bought some time, but not a lot of time. But he might be trying to force Freyja to keep his Marines in the back and keep them away from the front. The front is not too well protected. He's got two SCVs there though on the front, and the SCVs can repair. But what's he going to do? Is he going to go for a frontal attack, or is he going to go for a drop on the minerals? There's not a lot of options for Burgersasu here. He's going to have to pull off a miracle. Attacks the front. He's got 4 high Templars. Tanks are getting pretty far away outside of storming range. So yeah, he has to turn around. He has to turn around. Got a dropship on the way there for Freyja to go for a tank drop on the probes. There's no cannons anywhere to be seen. Burgersasu is in a miserable position. Got double necks on the way for Burgersasu to try and recover his economy. So 27 probes against 46 SCVs. This is truly a nightmare scenario. Truly a nightmare scenario. He unsieged tanks to go for a tank drop, but Burgersasu is looking in with the Zealots there to maybe go and attack. He's looking, he's checking the front. I think he saw the dropship, so he pulls back his Zealots because he knows the drop is probably on the way from having seen the dropship with the... maybe he didn't see it, maybe he did see it. So he goes in, sees a lot of Zealots, Zealots on the chase, tank unloads, but there's 2 tanks. He's gonna run the probe to safety, he's gonna lose a couple of them, loses only 4 of them? Loses 5 in total. So that's slightly lucky there for Burgersasu that he managed to pull his probes away just on time, and the fact that Freyja just happened to target a small group of probes amounting only to 4. But it's 27 to 52. Still very far behind. What Burgersasu has to do right now is hit a storm drop or do some kind of massive damage. If that doesn't happen, Burgersasu is going to die sooner or later, because Freyja is just walking away with the lead. He's so far in the lead. There's not much Burgersasu can do to really make a comeback here. He's going to take a miracle. He's going to have to kill the entire economy of Freyja, but Freyja has built a lot of anti-drop. He's got Marines on the sides and turrets as well. Burgers in the back. His defense against drops is not the best it ever was, but it's certainly very, very good, very solid. So the drops are unlikely to really damage him. Got a dropship on the bottom. Wait, this one is empty actually. That one's from earlier. He's got a drop. No, that's medics. So he's putting tanks on the high ground to go for a tank hill push, which is pretty dangerous, pretty painful when you get hit by it. But that looks to be the plan, setting up on the high ground to push from the high ground towards the Nexus. Got the vessel there for detection on Dark Templars. We have a Corsair killing the dropship on the bottom, but stayed alive from the earlier tank drop. Supplies on 106 for Burgersasu. He's focusing on going for shuttles, and Corsairs to go for a drop on the economy. The shuttles are waiting in the back, and the Corsairs are grouping up in the front, waiting for one more shuttle, or is he gonna go for a triple shuttle drop? Okay, so he checks the hillside and sees turrets and vision on the high ground. Now that must be pretty painful to see, because tanks on the high ground are difficult to kill. It takes a lot of resources to kill those tanks on the high ground. He's got a bunker behind the hill as well, so very good setup there from Freyja. He's really preparing himself for that hill tank abuse into a push. Storms of the tanks, takes 2 down. There's 4 more tanks. He's got to buy himself some time with some High Templar storms on those tanks. Snipes the High Templar before it can storm. 2 more storms coming down there. Snipes another High Templar. Oh yeah, he gets sniped again. And 1 more storm. Oh, very close. D-Matrix comes down in the tank as well, so would have survived if he got stormed anyway. So yeah, Freyja's playing this very well, with some target firing on the High Templars to secure that high side. That high ground, high side above Burgersasu. Tanks are loading to hit some of those cannons. Getting very close to the probe. Shoots his... No, hits the cannon. Hits the cannon. It's a little bit too far away. It's a little tiny itsy bit. So yeah, Burgersasu doesn't have a lot of time left. He's on 6-2 on probes, he can 6-2 SCVs. He's recovered his economy somewhat, but he's very far behind on Freyja. He's very far behind on Freyja. Tank, oh, shoots on a couple probes, but the probes, he hit the probe on the gas, not on the minerals. That was very close. That could have ended the game. Comes in there into Freyja's base, goes in all the way, snipes 1 shuttle, starts unloading. No High Templars unload on the scene. Okay, they do unload on the scene, but they're too far away from the SCVs, which are in the middle of the base. Safe and sound. Is there still anything inside? I don't think so. Nothing inside. So the 1 drop that really had to hit something, hits nothing. And Freyja's 63 SCVs all stay alive. All stay alive. And Burgersasu back to 58 probes, lost about 10 just earlier. Things are looking grim. I don't have to tell you that, you know that. Things are looking grim. He's getting every single force upgrade at the same time, but he's still on 0-0-0, I believe. 0-0-0. Whereas I think Freyja is on 0-2 for Marines, 0-0 for the tanks, but tank upgrade is pretty much done in a couple seconds, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There it is. Tank upgrade is finished up. So yeah, Freyja is pretty well ahead of the competition at the moment. Pretty well ahead. Actually, Shield just finished up. Shield just finished up. Which is the least important upgrade for a Protoss. So we are maxed out for Freyja. He's going to kill the front and just attack the front. He's just going to move out and attack the front. He's just deciding to end it right now. This is a mercy killing. Breaks open the front door, sends out a couple Marines, and is he going to send out more than this? Or is he going to purely focus on this hillside attack? Yeah, he's just going to focus on this hillside push. So turrets are being built there, beyond the high ground, under protection of tanks and vessels. Has to go in and kill this. Templar goes in, but Templar can't storm. Tanks in the front as well. He's opening up some supply space with the Marines and getting some kills at the same time as well. He's sending out every single Marine. He's going all in. He's sending most of his Marines. Not all of them, most of them. Yeah, Burgersasu is down 70 supply. He just got that breakthrough with the fire bats and the Marines. Just did a number on him. And I get what Burgersasu was trying to do. He was trying to go for fast Dark Templars, but mid-gate against an 8 barracks bull order is just not good. It's just not worth trying. Oh, gets a huge hit. Huge hit. 34, 23. It's GG. Burgersasu gets wrecked again. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Burgersasu to get wrecked this badly when I started this series. I was not expecting him to get wrecked like this. It's going to be 3 wins for Freyja and 1 win for Burgersasu. And yeah, I'm already calling it a GG, but this is impossible to overcome. Impossible to make a comeback. It's simply impossible. We do have more games lined up, though. We have more games lined up, but at the moment, the score is 3 wins for Freyja. I'm just going to already put it at the top there, because yeah, we know what's going to happen here. We know what's going to happen. More tanks unloading beyond the high ground. He's trying to recover his ropes, but he's on 35. Recovering is impossible. Like, this drop is going to have to hit everything. Every single SCV. And then he still has 6,000 minerals in the bank. He scanned the shuttles. He saw them leaving with the marine here in the front. So he's now preparing himself for the drop. The drop is probably not going to make its way through because we have an engineering bay on the high ground. Tanks are loading yet again on the low ground there above Burgersasu's nexus. We got Valkyries on the scene and shuts it down. And he's going to call GG right now. I'm sure of it. He's going to call GG. He has to. He has to call GG. We got 77 supply against 200. He has to call GG. He has to call GG at some point. Sooner or later, GG is going to have to get called. Okay, that's a lot of dropships. And a lot of tanks in those dropships. Calls GG, knows it's over, and taps out. Freyja flies across the hill ground and taps out as well after he wins game number 4. Yeah, Burgersasu just shouldn't have done the midgate. Midgate is, in my opinion, just not worth the shot at this level of play. The defensive ability of these Terran players at this level is just way and far too great for a midgate Protoss to ever work. He did not even get close in this game to making it work. Maybe if Freyja was on a middle spawn, maybe it could have worked, but at that point, you're just gambling. And I don't think that gambling is worth it.